now have with us Ashley Lehman from the library. And what the heck is going on in your parking lot over there?
Good question.
They got to start there.
It's almost done. Yeah, so we got a new parking lot. I don't know if you noticed in the springtime, it definitely needed to be done.
Yeah.
So it kind of got redesigned. We made it a little bit bigger, a little more efficient. They just completed the first layer, so we are good to go. You can park in the parking lot again, and they're going to complete it the end of next week with the final layer and the striping. We'll have to close a couple days, not sure which days yet, but we will announce that when we have to, so when they complete that striping. And we will have a nice, new, efficient parking lot with a new drive-up window where you can drop off your books.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Now, I see regular Facebook posts reminding people that you have been open during the process.
Yes.
Have you found that traffic has gone down a little bit while the
Not
parking?
really. No,
Really?
we've been
Okay.
pretty. We did it in 2 phases, so there was always a place to park. Yesterday was a little sketchy because they were paving the entrance, so we did have to park people on the grass, but luckily we have a good spot where you can park. I mean, we've been parking on the grass for a couple months now as staff, so to leave room for everybody else. But we've had a pretty steady flow of people throughout the process.
Speaking of a steady flow of people, how is the construction going to affect this weekend's events?
Yeah, good question. So we are holding off on finishing the final layer until after our summer reading kickoff, which is on Saturday at 11, and we get, almost 1,000 people come to the library that day. So we want to make sure that parking lot is ready to go. And since it's bigger, we added a few more spots, and we hope there'll be a good amount of space. I know people always park on the grass that day anyway.
Yeah.
Because we have so many people come.
It's amazing to see when the parking lot is full and it's overflow parking.
Yeah.
Talk about what someone's going to experience this Saturday.
Yeah, our kickoff event, it's for families and people in the community for our summer reading program. Obviously, summer slide is an issue with kids, so we want to promote reading for fun throughout the summer when they're not in school. There's some really cool images on it right now.
Yeah, from last year, yeah.
Last year. We have just a lot of different entertainers. We have bounce houses. We have our summer theme is Color Our World this year, so we're going to have a lot of arts and crafts activities, painting a graffiti sheet with spray paint. That's going to be a lot of fun. Right there is, we have Flip Spot coming and doing an obstacle course for little kids, and we have Oakland County Parks, where we got a grant to bring in the bounce houses for free. So it's going to be lots and lots of fun for all ages. We have activities for all ages.
So this kicks off the summer reading program. Talk about what is expected of participants over the summer.
Yeah, so our summer reading program is for all ages. It's not just for kids. We have, everyone here. We have all the way birth through adults. So we have youth, teen, and adults. You track your reading and other library-related activities online. And you can, by reading a certain number of books or reading a certain number of minutes, you get prizes, including free books. Adults, there's a raffle for a free e-reader. Kids, we went to Green Hippo Gifts just a couple days ago and
I saw your post.
A bunch of our TikToks are really cool. We bought a bunch of prizes for our kids for the showcase prizes. So we raffle off a bunch of prizes. And teens have a end of summer party at Water Warrior Island at Bald Mountain. So yeah, there's a lot of fun. So it's just reading for fun and promoting reading for fun for all ages. And you track your reading online. We have Beanstack, which is an app. You can track those books and those minutes, and then you can come in and pick up your prizes. Yeah.
Speaking of prizes, I see here there's a chance to win a family pack to the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, we've been doing that a couple years now. If you register the first weekend, we do give away some tickets through the Tigers charity organization.
You gonna start reading now, Joe?
Well, they're doing really well. The Tigers are the best team in the
Did you watch
league
that game
now.
last night? It was amazing.
I don't even know where to watch Tigers games anymore, but I see the updates and the highlights, and they're looking like the '84 Tigers, dare I say.
They are. 40 wins already. They got 40 wins.
First team in the league to get to 40 wins.
Yes,
so
yeah.
Very exciting. So that could be a very hot ticket.
I know. The last couple of years, I know people are kind of interested, but now that they're really good, people are
It's always the case, right?
really
they wait till
interested
they're really good.
now. Yes.
So I see that kids need encouragement to read, and some of these programs will keep them reading through the summer when they're not forced to because of school. Teenagers the same way. But do adults need that encouragement, or is this just a fun way to get them involved?
I mean, it's just always great to read at all ages and keep your reading knowledge up and stuff like that. So we do have some fun adult programs that are just for fun, you know, like our adult Battle of the Books. If you guys are familiar, I know Joe is familiar
sure.
with our 5th grade Battle of the Books, which is super, super popular with 5th graders. We have an adult version. They read 4 books over the summer, create a team, and then it's a trivia contest at a bar at 313 Pizza, and they are going to, and then it's just a trivia questions about those books, and they
So it
compete.
proves they've read the books,
Yes,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And I see quite a genre difference here with what you're
Yes.
doing. So it may not be a book I'd be interested in. 1 or 2 of these on the list might be, but then it would be a hard sell for me to read one of the other ones. So this is a way to get you to maybe reach out
Exactly.
beyond your
Yeah.
normal scope and read something.
It's the same philosophy for the 5th graders. Like, we force them to read poetry books or books about factual or information books or even picture books that they may not pick up on their own.
Yeah.
We do the same thing for adults. Force them to read graphic novels or memoirs or other informational books that you may just be like, oh, I don't read those kind of books. That's not my jam. But then you're like, oh, I actually might like a mystery book. That's weird.
Yeah.
I never knew that. So
Now,
it's
at
just
the
about
trivia night, do
expanding.
they wear crazy costumes like the kids do? Or
You know, I've never been.
I would if I did.
I've never been, but maybe we should encourage them this year. Sign up just started, so if you have a
That would be
costume,
fun.
I feel
Extra
like
points gets you on the board right away.
Yeah.
best costume contest gets you an extra book at the end.
Yeah.
But it has to be from one of the books. You got to dress as a character
Well,
from
that's
one of the
Yeah,
books.
but
That's
you can't
usually
give
what
away.
the kids do.
Yeah,
They usually are inspired by the books to create themes for each team. So yeah.
exactly.
That's a lot of fun. And so all of this leads up to the end of the summer, which I dread talking about right now.
know.
It's June 3rd. But at the end of summer on August 9th is the big finale. What do you have
Yes.
planned for the
Well,
finale?
I would argue that summer goes a lot longer than that, but we do end in August so kids can get ready for school and
Yeah.
everything. But we have a really cool performer, and it's very interactive. Lori is her name, and she has a company called Drumunity. So she comes and brings a bunch of drums and a bunch of different musical instruments, and it's kind of like a big, huge drum circle for kids.
Yeah.
And they just get to make music, and it's very free, and it's not, there's no they don't have to follow any
There's
musical.
no wrong way to hit
there's
a drum.
Exactly. So, and they just have a really good time. So we do that, and right after that, we raffle off those showcase prizes, and that is the big thing for the kids up to 5th grade, and families can come to that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that'll be summer's going to go by like that.
I mean, there's so many other things going on this summer. We have Fandom Fest this summer. That we used to do that in
May. Yeah.
We
Star
bumped
Wars
it
Day.
to July, and that's July 12th. Anything fandom. There's a lot of fun things, including K-pop karaoke for that one. And then we're bringing in one of our favorite magicians, Cameron Zavara, in July as well. So there's a lot of fun throughout the summer for
great.
kids. And then the adults, they also have we're doing the Art of Storytelling, which is an art competition.
Oh yeah, you've done that before, right?
Yeah, this is the 3rd year doing it. They're partnering with Orion Art Center. They read a book, a memoir. It's called Everything I Learned in a Chinese Restaurant. So, and then the art they create has to be based off of that book.
Yeah.
And it has to include something that was made in our makerspace as well.
Oh, wow.
And that you'll sign up throughout the summer, and then the art gallery, the opening is, I believe, sometime in September.
All right.
So you
Yeah,
have
that was
the
fun
whole
last year.
summer
That
to
was
do
neat.
that one.
That's a
as
fun
well.
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken, are you artistic?
Well, I am a member of the Orion Art Center. I
good.
do pottery over there.
That's
That's
right.
awesome.
But,
Yeah.
That would be a
So
good
if
thing.
it's clay, I could
Yeah.
maybe participate.
There you
Yeah, that you could do pottery, and then you can add an element, maybe something on our Cricut or our Glowforge machine
Yeah.
or something.
That's
that would be
awesome.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
definitely.
With the few minutes we have left in this segment, I'd like to throw out this question whenever we have someone from the library here. What is on your nightstand? What are you reading or have just recently finished? Start with you, Ashley.
Okay, I am in the middle of a book called Death by Cheesecake.
What a way to go.
The author's last name is Courage. It is a Golden Girls cozy mystery. So it is, if everybody knows Golden Girls, right?
Oh, sure, yeah.
It is based off of, it is written exactly like an episode of the Golden Girls. So if that's like your cozy show you might watch at home when you watch the seasons over and over again on Netflix, and it's just your background show. If you want a new Golden Girls story and with a little bit of mystery, it's a fun one. I'm halfway through it. I'm listening to it on audiobook, and the author does a pretty good job with the voices.
Yeah.
So, and that's like a big thing with the show is like Sophia's voice and Blanche and Rose and all that stuff. Author's last name is Courage. So I'm halfway through. It's great. I have, like I said, audiobook, and I have the physical copy too if I want to read it.
Yeah.
The book as well. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Michael, you in the middle of anything, or have you finished anything?
Well, I've got a book. I think it's called The Cat Mojo or The Mojo Cat, something like that. It's the guy from TV. He looks like a biker with tattoos and long beard. He carries his cat toys around in a suitcase, like a
I have to look this up.
guitar case, suitcase. Anyway, he's understanding your cat. I got a new cat about a year ago, and I've never had a kitten, so my girlfriend gave me this book and said maybe you can understand him a little better. And it's been a struggle. I can say I've read the book, and I have less bites than I did before I read the book.
Nice.
They're not gone yet. He still likes to bite me, but I think it's just love at this point.
How old is your
There you
cat?
go. Show affection.
Little over a year.
Okay, yeah, they're still biters at that age.
Yeah.
He's just teething.
Yeah. Right. Good answer.
That's right. I can't remember if I mentioned this on a past episode of Orion Today, but the last book that I read from cover to cover is the story of the Bangles, the all-girl rock group.
Loved it.
Yeah, their book just came out a few months ago. I picked it up, the Barnes & Noble on Baldwin Road. I bought their last copy of it, read it in just a couple of nights, and not only was it a fascinating tale of female entertainers experiencing misogyny and the hardships of being an all-girl group and the sexism involved, which I just wasn't aware of. I was such a huge fan of the band. I never understood that they were going through some really awful things as an all-female rock band. But the coolest thing about it is that I am mentioned in the book.
Wow.
Yeah, so I found, or I had a video on VHS of their appearance on the Joan Rivers show back in the 80s. And again, the sexism and everything played a role where she was asking them who slept with Prince, who slept with your roadies or your fans. It was just a really awful interview. And I had uploaded that to YouTube. So as I was reading the book, it made reference to the Joan Rivers show. And I'm like, as far as I know, I'm the only person who uploaded that video to YouTube. So I saw a little annotation, and I went to the index in the back, and it said video courtesy of Joe Johnson. So
You got a footnote.
so I got a footnote in a couple of different sections of the book. And Henry Rollins, the singer, he was talking about the sexism, and he referred to the Joan Rivers show. And again, I had a footnote on that page too. So imagine the thrill of seeing your own name in a book about your favorite band. That's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, all right, well, that wraps up this interview. Information, the library website?
OrionLibrary.org.
There you go.
Everything can be found there.
Yeah,
You
and
can
it's really
sign up.
well done. Kudos to whoever maintains that website.
Yeah, we got a couple great IT people in our library. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks for being here today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I love talking about library stuff.
Yeah, definitely.